How's it going? Dave from Comic Book Investments. Well, it's that time of the week. Go through what I got in this weekly haul. I got a lot of stuff this time, just a lot more than I guess I normally do. So it's kind of be a little longer one. So yeah, let's just jump right into it. Before I do, if you haven't subscribed, please think about subscribing. I think like 80% of the people that watch my videos aren't subscribed, and it'd really help grow this channel if you could. If you are subscribed, thanks. So let's jump right into it. All right, starting off, we got Spider-Man number 5. What If 10? First appearance of Jane Foster's Thor. Everyone's second favorite Hulk and Wolverine cover. First being obviously Hulk 182. First appearance of John Stewart. Got a Thundercats here. This will probably be like a 9.8, or I wouldn't grade it. If like something like that Thundercats, if it's like people always ask me what my threshold is for grading. Usually, this one right here will be a 9.8. Usually it's around $100 to $200, depending on the risk factor. And by risk factor, I mean if there's a chance that I can come back a 9.6, and many people know that on some books, if you get like a 9.6 versus a 9.8, a 9.8 could be worth a couple, $300-$400, and then the 9.6 is worth like basically what it costs to case it, $50 or something like that. So yeah, that's what I mean by risk factor. If I'm 100% certain, but there is no way to be 100% certain with CGC. But if I am, then if it's worth it, then I'll send it. This book right here, X-Men 94, it's been going up like crazy. And someone told me, I was talking to someone, and we're talking about why certain books are just going up, like books that you wouldn't think of, like the Hulk 340 and all this kind of stuff. And they're like, well, certain people that want to get the key book, right? You want a first Wolverine, but you can't get the first Wolverine because it's out of your budget. So you go to the next best thing, which would be like Hulk 340. If you can't get a 180 or 182. And I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. That's why, like, it's interesting, like the second tier books, third tier, fourth tier, all that stuff all goes up. Just like this book. It's been going up a lot too. So I was like, oh, that makes sense. I pointed in my last video that there's no comics code on this, but there is. It's over here. I'm dumb. Yes, I make mistakes many a times, but it's good when people catch it, and then I'm like, oh yeah, my bad. But yeah. First Howard the Duck is in Fear number 19. You notice I get a lot of these Nintendo Powers. I never had Nintendo Power as a kid. I had Nintendo though. It's heavy. In that Nintendo Power, you gotta make sure that there's like a Zelda 1 overworld map. Gotta make sure that's not clipped out. Predator number 1. You guys will like this one. Spider-Man. Let me move this over here. Gotta move these around. Interesting story about this Spider-Man is someone wanted to do a trade. And normally I don't do trades for multiple reasons, but one of the main reasons is it just never really works out in anyone's favor. And I'm always like, look, if like I do trades, like not super often, but a lot of times people are like, here, I want to trade you all these like non-key, non-issue, like good issue books for your like one big key. I mean, I had this one person, he wanted to trade for my Fantastic Four 48, but he wanted to give me like just like a bunch of stuff. And I'm like, I have to get all this stuff graded, and the ones that are graded are going to sit for a long time. I'd rather just sell my Fantastic Four 48. So, yeah, it's just, I do trades, but it just ends up being harder to work out than you would think to make it fair on both ends. And I'm always like, well, look, if you want my book, just got a couple of these. Just sell that one and then come back and buy mine. I like this cover. But who doesn't? Oh, and look at that. I always liked this. I don't know why. Ever since I was a kid, I always thought it was really weird. I had both these books when I was a kid. So you got 112, but then they first meet in number 12. I always thought that was so cool. I don't know why. It's like, oh, exactly 100 books later, they fight again. I don't know if they planned that. I'm sure they've had to, unless it was this pure accident, which is even kind of cooler, I guess. But, yeah. And many times it'll say FF12 is the first time Hulk and meets the Fantastic Four. It is true, but that was the first time they battle. People say, like, I think even in the Overstreet Price Guide it says first battle is issue FF58. And I always disagree because they did battle in issue 12. Got a lot of Spawn here. Now, maybe someone can tell me this. So, for example, these not newer, but like issue 110, it'll say Greg Capulo, Greg Capulo, I think that's his name. And it has his little marking down there, right? And then his little signature. And then it also has Todd McFarlane's. Now, are they putting in Todd McFarlane's signature because he created Spawn? So it's kind of like, hey, everyone who does a Spawn cover has to put my name in it? Or is it, obviously I know Todd McFarlane drew the earlier issues, but is he still drawing the covers at this point? Oops. That I'd be interested to know. Or is it like he does the outline of it, kind of like a rough sketch, and then someone, like kind of like what he wants, and then whoever the artist is then finishes it off, like actually draws it really well. So I'll be interested to know if anyone knows that is, if that's the case, or if it's just simply, okay, this one's kind of cool. I got this in, I had no idea. But let's see if I can find another one. I'm sure I have another one. Here we go. All right. So someone asked me about this, and I totally forgot until just now. And I will do one on this. Can you tell the difference? Now, a lot of you will probably say, oh, well, one's the newsstand and one's, I hate that it's always in reverse, not the newsstand. But no, look closely up at the price. As you can see, one says 65 cents, one says 75 cents for our market analysis, which will be on Wednesdays. And I'll also do the Thundercats as well. So you'll kind of get, two birds, one stone. You can kind of see what's going on with Thundercats, speaking of which. And if you watch my market analysis, you realize I have a lot of Thundercats. And that is not by accident. I, unfortunately, stupidly, missed the train on Invincible. I'm not saying the train is completely gone. It's still within sight. But I remember seeing the Invincibles popping up, and I remember it's like, oh, get a 9A for like $300. And I was like, that's, I don't know, it's too much. Now they're like 3,000. So I'm not going to miss the train again. So I'm loading up on Thundercats. It's definitely speculation, 100%. But if you look at most of my stuff in here, I only have a few percentage of my stuff is actually, this is my dog snoring. Can you hear that? They're very tired. But if you look at most of my stuff, it's not speculation buy. It's really good, like solid investment stuff and good keys. But I do have some speculation buys. Put these up there, it's fine. Sorry, I have to move all this stuff. Okay, we're back. There we go. We got a Marvel Spotlight, number 5. First Ghost Rider. This book's been flattening out a little bit, price-wise. It'll pick up again, trust me. Once when there's more movement in the movie, like a closer to the release. I don't know when the release is. I think it's supposed to be October, November or something, around Halloween. But it should pick up a little more. But it's kind of been waning a little bit. Now we're going to get a bunch of Sandmans here, which I'm very excited for if they actually pull it off and make that Netflix. I think it's Netflix show about the Sandman. So I'll be excited for that. Yeah, so just a bunch more. Back to some non-Sandman. Fantastic Four, 48. Got another one. Avengers 57. Young Avengers, first appearance. This is the first appearance of Space Usagi, which has been, if you looked at my top 10 video of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, that was in there. That book's been going up a lot, like crazy amounts. It's just weird. This one right here, coming up, I don't know what to do. I'm kind of stumped a little bit. Part of me says, this one right here, Strange Tales, was it 159? First appearance of Val, I don't know, the girl that was in Winter Soldier, played by Elaine Bennis from Seinfeld, which I love Seinfeld. I honestly don't know what to do. I'm like torn. A part of me thinks that I don't think the character is going to go anywhere. I don't think the book is going to hype up much more than it is. So a part of me just wants to sell them and not buy anymore because I think it's peaked. But then a part of me says we're in uncharted waters and anything could happen. So maybe it still has some more room to go. I don't know. So it's kind of like, I really don't know. As far as like long term, unless she's going to appear in more TV shows and things like that, I don't see that book really doing much. It'll go up its normal rate that it goes up. But yeah. Yeah. It was first Falcon, who is now Captain America and going to be in Captain America number 4. I have a review on the entire series coming out tomorrow. I also have a review for Invincible, which, spoiler alert, I loved. And here we go. Oh, this one's cool. This has nothing to do with comic books. I got this for myself. It was $20. It is the complete visual history. Does that didn't even fit in there? Of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's kind of cool. It talks about, a bunch of different turtles things, where they came from, all sorts of stuff. I think it ended in 2000, like 13 or 14, so it does have like kind of the newer turtles stuff in there. But it has a bunch of stuff. It comes with like really cool things, like these little flyers that you can see. Um, it has, I don't know where it is, but it has the first time that they went to the San Diego Comic Con and they drew up flyers for it, little flyers, and they included the flyers in here, like the actual flyers. I mean, they're copies, obviously, but it's pretty cool if you like the turtle stuff. I think that is that it. That's a convention they went to um, way back in the day. It also comes with, in the back, it has a bunch of little goodies as well. Oops. Let's see if I can find it. I don't want to rip it. It comes with like a miniature version of the first turtles. So it's kind of cool. But yeah, it was $20. I got it used on Amazon, but I think new they're like $30 or $40. I mean, it's not that bad shape. But yeah, it has a bunch of stuff from like the original movies, the Archie stuff, tons of pictures of Eastman and Laird when they're growing up. Like this goes through like their whole history and everything. Here it is. Is this it? Yeah, here we go. First time they went to the San Diego Comic Con, they drew up this little flyer, and you see it's like barely attached there, kind of thing. But yeah, I thought it was really cool. Someone on YouTube asked me about the comic in the back, and they're like, "Hey, this looks really rare. I've never seen it before." So I did a little digging. I figured out where it was, and then I told them about it was in this book. They got one. I got one. I mean, it's $20. Look how huge it is. It's massive. Definitely cool little coffee table book. And if you love the turtles, you should pick one up. It's great. All right, that's pretty much it for today. I hope you like this kind of stuff. Yeah. All right. Thanks.